go to what does the dog dance or whatever? Does the dog die? What was it?
That dance?
I don't know.
Does the dog die?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like my idea better.
I don't know how many people need to be warned of a dog dancing in a movie.
I don't know.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse. My name is Hoppocalypse. This is Itisdpayne.
I watched the movie.
I did too.
My gosh.
Did yours happen to have a villain in it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm curious about the author of the list, because the movie I watched, I don't know. We'll get into it. We'll find out if we watch the same movie. I feel like not, because I don't feel like, I guess you could say mine was trippy in some sections, but we'll see. We'll get to it.
Okay, judging by the way you're talking, I don't think we watched the same movie. I will say I wish we watched the same movie because I think it would have been an interesting conversation that we would have had. But we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I'll save my thoughts for when it's my turn to talk about the movie, because I do have thoughts about movie and maybe article written about said movie.
I don't remember reading the description for the article. I think the movie I picked is one that is one of those, like, you know, sometimes you like see a movie on a list and you go, right, I want to watch that. And then you come back to it and see it on a completely different list and go, oh, right, that's the movie. So we'll see. But first we have rules. So like
Gross.
you
Well, there's a cold open.
I was in the middle of thinking of how to transition to say, like, if it's your first time here, all the rules are in the description. We do play around with adding rules, getting rid of rules. So maybe if you heard us do something in a previous week, maybe it's gone now because we got yappy in some episodes. Last week in particular was a pretty yappy episode. So we got rid of the rules. The loser can choose to respin the wheel, because I used that once and we decided, yeah, that's enough. That's the exact time to use that one.
It was the one and only time, and watch, we are going to instantly regret that at the end of this one.
And then losing twice in a row gets you advantage, because we haven't really been doing that. We're almost 50-50, so it's fine for us to be where we're at. But the rules active means that this was my prompt that I had written before we started this series. So I get to talk about the last meal I ate, to which I made like nachos with a whole bunch of leftovers that I had. And it wasn't bad, but I think the protein wasn't seasoned in a way to lean itself fully towards nacho. Because I had some leftover salmon, and like it still, like, it wasn't dry or anything once I put it on, but it was just like, because it wasn't a heavily seasoned protein, it kind of gave the rest of the dish going like, yeah, it all kind of tastes the same, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But not bad. I mean, I made pickled jalapenos recently, so that added a lot. So I would put that in a couple chips. I also have pickled red onions and some avocado. So it wasn't a full loss, but it was kind of like, that's okay. Because usually if I do, like, salmon tacos and things, it's usually cooked up with, like, cumin and a whole bunch of other stuff. But this leftover salmon was just generally baked with a little bit of lemon and then butter. So one of those, I cooked it because that was the main protein. And then adding it as, like, this, you know, as a topping, I was like, oh, this is plain. But overall, it's okay.
Everyone, if you haven't been a long-time listener of Pointless Discourse, I'm just gonna say, like, this alone, like, just compared to what, maybe a year ago, like, was it a year ago that you were like, I look up the 5-minute recipes? You have expanded your cooking repertoire.
Yeah, I mean,
your resume, like, compared to when we first started, which was like, I heated bagel bites.
The one book that helped me a lot with my confidence, I don't know if it's in print anymore now that I've tried to look to get a copy for myself, is the No Recipe book. It was published under the New York Times. I forget who the specific chef is, but basically it has a bunch of recipes where they don't give measurements and instead list of ingredients, and a lot of the recipes are like 5 to 10 ingredients. So it's also obtainable where one of the things that I really like making out of it is like a sausage penne pasta, where it's just sausage of choice, herb of choice, pasta of choice, and the only required things are olive oil, butter, and then salt and pepper. And
Yeah.
like out the rest of it, they go, because I don't know what sausage you use, salt accordingly. Because I don't, and Parmesan cheese, to help emulsify the sauce. And it's very much like, I don't know what herb you used, so season as you need, you know. So
Don't
then,
tell me what to do.
but seeing that it doesn't have to be that strict for it to still come out okay, and doing recipes out of that. And then I've also just been like, no, I just have a pile of you can kind of see it.
I can. I don't know if I don't know. I feel like I crop the video out every
Yeah,
different
that's
every
fine.
week.
I've also been borrowing cookbooks from the library. So even if I don't, I only buy the ones where the recipes I've tried are ones that I want to like hold on to and just have. But it's also given me like, oh, now I know that I don't really like this kind of pasta. I don't need to buy this book, you know.
Yeah, it was when I was doing TikTok and doing videos for it. I know every once, like I was going through the, it's all the way over there. I can't remember the name. The unofficial Lord of the Rings cookbook. I was doing recipes from that, and then people were like, "Can you share the recipe?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not my recipe. I got it from this cookbook." Like, and I don't. It's not fair
I didn't
for
put
me
in
to
the
share.
work. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, you see the name. I'm pretty sure you could look this up because it's pretty much
A very specifically Lord of the Rings named recipe.
It's like it is I don't know. I still haven't logged into my TikTok ever since they sold it because I'm like, they're like, "Hey, can we have permission to look?" I'm like, "Heck no! You already look at enough stuff on my phone. Bye." And now I just wait until the TikToks come on Instagram. But it's but yeah, I'm realizing my Instagram is slowly becoming very similar to my TikTok feed. I'm like, well, at least I'm consistent.
I've gotten back to where I belong.
Yeah. Of random cooking videos. I wish I accidentally hit the hashtag streaming or streamer, and so now there's a lot more streamers on there, and I'm like, I don't like you. Like, I don't have anything against you. I don't care about people playing their video games. I'm sorry. Not really. It's like, as someone who's, and I feel like Hop, you probably relate as well. I don't want to speak for you, but as someone who's been on the other side of the webcam / mic doing those games, I'm like, okay, it doesn't take much work.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get ones where clearly it's being hammed up for a younger audience, where it's just some person behind a mic going, "This is the hardest game that's ever been made," and I'm just like, get me out of here.
Yeah. Now, I will say I have seen some that I'm like, oh my goodness, that's really cool. Like there was one guy, he was playing some Souls game, and he had all his scene transitions like Windows 95, and so like he would hit like he had the scene transition where like the big old mouse would hit start and then it would go up, and he hit shut down, and it would go like Windows was shutting down, but it'd be like his stream shutting down. And I was like, that's really cool. And there's like a couple other things I've seen, but I will say they're not a streamer, but I'm kind of sad that they haven't shown up on my, because I have no clue what their name is, but it was a Filipino independent artist, and she was singing all that stuff, but it was like, I don't hear a lot of music in Tagalog. And she was like, it was like the whole vibes was like, your garden is singing. And I'm like, this is so chill. I have no clue what she's saying, but I'm digging it. And I was like, oh man,
now
this
that
is
you've
cool.
said it, now that you've said it out loud in front of your phone,
I know.
it may appear.
Hey,
That was
if
the plan.
If I find it again, I'm pretty sure I could look it up. I will send you it so you can have reference. Like, this is what I was talking about on the podcast. By the way, the video you sent me was very funny. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I said disassociate in real time.
I know. Well, I forgot that you sent it to me. I was like, oh, well, are you sending me stuff? You never said, oh yeah.
That's why. Yeah. No, it's okay. Anyway, so yeah, so that was my meal. Thank you for the compliment. I do feel like I've gotten a lot further in cooking, and I do feel like I've gotten more jaded in terms of. I mean, there's one aspect of just the price of everything for eating out is a lot. And then two, if you don't go to somewhere local enough, you end up with Cisco food because Cisco has taken over a lot of the restaurant industry. So
Yeah.
like, I'll have people that are like, "You want to go get triple dippers?" And I'm like, I could get frozen options of all three of those and make them at home and not leave the house. It's been, like I feel like a hater, but if it's like that, if it's like triple dippers, I'm just like, I won't feel satisfied. I'll feel icky, and I could have done that at home and been comfy and watched my movie. Versus like, I've realized how not every dinner has to be a big effort, and I've also learned how to be a little bit more creative with leftovers. Like I said, I'll make nachos if I have extra of a protein. Like I got an Instant Pot, and sometimes I'll make barbacoa because it's a put it in and forget about it. After you season it, you just leave it. And then I have leftovers, and then I do like one night's tacos. I take a break. The next day is like a taco bowl over Spanish style rice. Take a break, and then it's the nacho night. But
Yeah, my fiance, she was getting on my case, not like aggressively, but she was like, "Oh man, maybe we can go out and get something to eat close by to you." And I was like, I don't know what's good around me. Like, there's like, we went to like 3 restaurants. He's like, "You don't go out?" And I was like, "I can cook." And it's like, I'm like, I have everything down to a science right now, because like a lot of my food that I make is not really geared for like, oh man, extravagance. It's like, okay, here's the nutrients I need, and it tastes good.
yeah, I mean, that's
So
what you need at the end of the day. And
yeah.
I think the other thing I learned is I'm not a meal plan girly. Like I know a lot of people do well with being able to say, like, I make one thing for the week, like you say. Like, I know what I like, and I make it. And I'm like, I need variety. But on days that I know that I'm going to be tired, like usually Tuesdays I go into the office, I make something big on Monday to have for leftovers Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that, it's just little things like that.
Yeah. And you know what? The economy for food and egg prices are the real villains as we transition to fake villain. I don't know. Some of them I feel like on that. I didn't really read the whole list.
You're fine. Anyway, but if I look, we are not wearing the same shirt color, so we don't have to worry about that rule today.
I do have a pocket.
I do not have a pocket.
Oh man,
that's the next rule. If
that's
you have
the next
a pocket.
rule. I have a whole lot more. They're from China.
Not a holiday. So we will find out about our movie titles and the lengths of our movies.
Do we have a holiday episode, like update? Actually,
we had literally one that you made the rule that day.
Yeah, no, I'm wondering if we have any in the future, and I was like, maybe in September.
Right, we did talk about that.
Yeah, if a episode falls on a Monday, it's a good chance it's already a holiday. So. But yeah, there's that. And yeah, so you won, so you get to pick the die.
Oh, yes. So last week I said a D8, and I know I'm saying last week even though we recorded a few days ago, but for the listeners. So let's go with D20. I don't see that being rolled recently. Is it because we rolled D20s in so many systems already?
I don't know. Ever since I stopped streaming, the amount of games that I play has like plummeted. Right. I'm a rolling. Why can't I roll like this when I play games?
So it sounds like I'm going again because I rolled a 12.
Okay, it is closer. I rolled a 14. But you are correct. You are going first. So I got to talk about the book. The thing is, I did just finish a book, but I don't want to talk about that because there's a different book I want to talk about. As soon as I find my story graph to remember the name of it. By the way, my smartwatch is fully charged. That just thought everyone would like to know that.
I wanted you to know, so we should know.
Yep. One of these days, I will know how to actually work this app. Right. So, I will say the latest book I just finished this week is Heavenly Tyrant.
The sequel?
Yes, the sequel.
Okay.
They're both good. But I feel like if I don't talk about this book the way I'm rolling, I will never be able to talk about it. So, and the way I'm going through books recently, it is Stuart Turton. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The Devil and the Dark Water. I read another one of his books. Let me bring him up here. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
Okay.
I'm seeing that he has a couple other books here, but he is it seems like he does a lot of period piece mysteries, and not like Agatha Christie, who was literally in the time, but it's like kind of in that similar time. But both books that I've read from him have this supernatural kind of like element, where 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle is very embedded in this, while The Devil in the Dark Water, it really makes you wonder, like, how is this all happening? Because like the way the world is set up is like, it's like, oh my goodness, there's like the evil spirits and all that stuff, but at the same time we're like, there's characters in the world is like, no, this isn't real. And so it kind of makes you wonder as you're going through there, is like, is this supernatural? Is this not? And it has you guessing pretty much until the end. But pretty much what happens is like we have pretty much our Sherlock character, and then his Holmes. I'm blanking on his name. They're not called Sherlock and Holmes, but
Watson.
Watson, yeah. Oh yeah.
Sherlock Holmes is the guy.
Yes. But we have them, and it pretty much opens up. They're all going aboard this ship, but the character that is like known for solving mysteries, he's in chains. They're like, we found out this thing about you, and we like, you have to go to jail. Like, you're going to prison. And so they're going there, and there's like all these like lords and ladies and all these people coming on, and then out of nowhere a leper stands on a bunch of boxes and says, yo, ship's cursed, bro. He doesn't say it like that, but he's just like, yo, y'all gonna die, and then catches on fire. Yeah, in front of, like, in broad daylight, and they're just like, what? Hold up a second, this is a little weird. And like they're trying to figure stuff, and then like they stop him, pull the leopard down, and like he's still alive, but they find out that it's just like he's pretty much like emaciated. I think that's the right word, but he's like he ain't doing good. But they find out that he has no tongue. Oh, and that's the other thing. He's missing a leg. That's what it was. He's missing a leg, so he couldn't climb up on the boxes, and he couldn't speak because he doesn't have a tongue. And they're like, how does this work? But it's like because of him catching on fire, they had to let him die. Or well, they helped him die, and then because they're like, we literally can't save him, and this is like a mercy rather than like letting him suffer, because there's nothing we can do to actually save him with the medical technology we have now. But as they go on the ship, they like weird things keep happening, like things that don't make sense. There's like this cult symbol that keeps going up. There's these like whispers about this stuff, and we like follow pretty much these two different characters, as pretty much the Watson to the Holmes of this character is forced to step up and like battle his self-doubt to be like, no, I can do this and help solve this mystery, while this person the wife of the person who's in charge of the ship, it's not the captain, but it's like there's someone that drives the boat, and then there's someone that's part of like, it's not the East India Company, it might be, it's something equivalent of that is
like spice trade, or at least like, okay,
something equivalent that is just it's his wife is like kind of rebelling against him to help solve this mystery as well. So the way they both work together and both find out different things in their own different ways, it is very interesting. I will say there definitely look some stuff up, because there's definitely trigger warning stuff in here, especially for the time period. There's a lot of abuse, especially emotional, physical abuse between to like men to women, husband and wife. Like there's a lot of stuff just it's not glorified, but it's in there, and like it does connect with the plot with as you learn certain things. It's not like I'm writing this person as a dirtbag for you to hate him, which you should, but it's like there's other stuff that are like, hold up, is there a reason why? But I will say right there, they're not justifying his actions. And then, but yeah, there's that. There's a lot of magic, it is a murder mystery, so that there's a lot of gore and death described on there. So just, I feel like with a lot of things that I always say, hey, it's good, but do what the opposite of me and do a little research to make sure that there's nothing that would hit
too close. Yeah.
So I don't know. I see a title, I'm like, yeah, it looks cool, and I read it, I'm like, well, I'm traumatized. But yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
that is the Devil in the Dark Order.
Nice. So any other? I think those are the main two, right?
Yep.
And then it's time to get into chatting about the movies.
Yeah. I keep having this stupid K-pop song stuck in my head that from TikTok where it's like, I'm a villain or something like that. They say that a bunch, and I keep thinking about that every time. We're like, best movie villains of all time.
According to one article, we did not do cross-research.
We found one article, and then I realized I watched a lot of the episodes, a lot of the movies that are on here. Since you're going first, I'm going to count, unless we watch the same movie. But the way you're talking, I don't think we did.
All right.
There's a lot of trains going by right now.
Choo-choo. Anyway, so then you can get ready with your pen to write down the title and the time. The movie I watched was Audition.
We watched the same movie.
Okay. I had a feeling, because I know you said like you didn't think so, but I thought we got there. Anyway, so usually I would say that there's no spoiler, but spoiler town. We did watch the same movie, so
All right, well, I don't have to.
we get to rewrite a rule. Is there one you want to rewrite?
We can do that at the end, I guess.
All right, I'll highlight it so we don't forget about it.
Yeah. I was like, man, I hope we watch the same movie, because this seems like it would be a fun one to talk about.
All right, so yes, so you have been warned. I mean, this movie is older. It's 27 years old now, in fact. It's from 1999. If you don't want to be spoiled, you can come back to this episode after you've watched it. But basically, if you want a precursor before going into the movie, do look up a lot of warnings. Mm-hmm. I saw the description, and a lot of the things that happened early in the movie, I mentally prepared myself. I was appreciative that not everything is on screen, but there's definitely a lot of uncomfortable themes and implications. So I would say just double check warnings. One of my big content warnings, which is like animal death, is in it, but I don't think it almost feels comical by the time it happens. Not to laugh it off, but like the two things I'll say is you don't hear it and you don't see it active on screen.
Yeah, you see the
aftermath. But there is implications of like all sorts of abuse, like abuse of all types. Like I don't think there's just one type of abuse that's pictured. There's a lot of misogyny. There's a lot of feminism. There's a lot, or anti-feminism. There's a lot of I think it's a very cultural movie in terms, like you and I were talking about how there's different norms to different countries, and while you can idolize certain things, it's not the full picture of the country. I think this is a very particularly cultural like peek into the country in this time. And honestly, watching anime from this era, it kind of lines up for me. It kind of makes sense. And I think I've watched other Japanese film like right around this time. What year did The Ring come out? Or Ringu?
So that came out.
I feel like that was late 80s, 90s as well.
1998.
Oh, so yeah, so I have watched other things of this era.
Yeah, I never watched Ringu because
I would recommend Ringu. I like Ringu.
I think I would appreciate it now. It was because Ring was like the American version was the like first one like horror movie like one of the first horror movies I ever watched.
Same.
But it was like the way my friends like hyped it up, like the way they talked about it freaked me out more than actually watching it.
Yeah, that was the first one I had watched, but my brother acted as like kind of like Mystery Theater 3000, so I wasn't very scared of it. But then he later admitted to me that was not the first time he had watched that movie, and he had watched it in theaters, and as soon as he left the theaters, he got a blocked call on his phone, and he was like, "I'm dead." Like I'm like, wow, that must have been a magical time, to like leave the theater with like your little flip phone and be like, an unknown caller right after watching The Ring. But I prefer Ringu a lot over the Western. I think if I remember correctly, the Western Ring is family focused and Ringu is a little bit more Lovecraftian, and it's like
so it's racist.
Everyone's Japanese, so it's maybe, I don't know.
That won't stop.
But in terms of like when I think of Lovecraftian horror, I think of the whole like it's bigger than people, there's only so much in your own control.
So I will say the trippiness that I was saying was definitely like, I'm not going to go too deep into it because it is.
I mean, nothing.
I would say like the end.
Yeah, like I told Strider, I was like, last night I started it. I was like, I have 45 minutes left, Strider, and nothing's happened. He went, good luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So has he watched it before?
He hasn't, but he was asking me about it, and I paused it, and he was like, "Where's the villain?" I was like, "There's implications, but there's 45 minutes left, so I guess it gets really bad." He's like, "Whatever happens in that last chunk is gonna be memorable," and I don't know. It feels like.
Go ahead.
It feels like a scary movie for a certain person.
Yeah.
But again, we can get into it once we're ready for spoilers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think it's a movie, like, if anyone's curious about watching it. I don't know if I would personally recommend it, but I understand why people like it. I think it has good director choices and decent storytelling. I just don't like what the story told.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things, like, I wish I didn't read the article, like the little snippet, because I felt like, even though like they're very early on, they're like, hey, something ain't right with this person, but I'm like reading the article, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I know who to look out for, and I was like, I kind of wish I didn't scan through it. She
is on a lot of the poster art, so like,
yeah,
I think it's overall, I still think it's fine.
Yeah, it was just in there. They're like, hey, like, because I knew the other shoe was going to fall, but it was just like I don't know. It's just my personal preference where like I like going in as blind as possible. I will say the movie that I originally was thinking about watching.
Was it Blue Velvet?
Yes. And I was like,
I knew it.
I'm like, I was like, I was going to watch it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to save that because potentially that would fit with a better prompt.
Okay.
But
we have some prompts left. We're getting through them. Yeah.
And then I found out that I watched like half of the films. I just counted. There's like 45 on there. I watched 19 of the films already. And so some of them, like, I have no interest in watching. And then I was just scrolling through really fast, and it probably could be because, at least on the article, the movie poster is yellow. So it's just like, it kept catching my eye in a sea of like, I've already seen this and like black and white films. And I'm like, okay, this keeps catching my eye. What is this?
And it was
It's
on
on
Canopy.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it's on Canopy, even better. So, but anyway, I guess, do we want to give a brief synopsis of the film?
Before
And
Spoiler Town.
yeah.
All right. Do you want to do it, or would you like me to do it? I guess
Uh,
I technically won,
you
so I
won
should
the
probably do
die.
it.
You won the die roll, so I will let you decide.
All right, I'll do it. I guess my quick summary of this without any spoilers is to say that the main character is an older gentleman. I think his son, you can estimate, is like between 17 and 20 based on it. But very early on in the movie, you see that he's a widower and his son's pretty young. And then they say 7 years later, and his son is kind of like, hey, Dad, you kind of look lonely and worn out. Have you ever considered, like getting remarried? I don't understand the culture around being like a single father and everything, but it seems like the two of them at least have a healthy enough relationship. But that they'd have some joking moments early on in the movie where they're like, we don't understand women because we are two guys in the house. Ha 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 ha. And then the dad starts to get it in his head, like, maybe my son is onto something. And I can imagine where it's like his son's getting older. His son is likely is closer to moving out than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts considering it. The main character seems to own some kind of entertainment adjacent thing. So he has a buddy who's like, what if, like, we made up a movie audition and auditioned a bunch of women, but it's really like speed dating for you? And the main guy's like, I don't know, that seems weird. And then the guy who's running the audition has like this whole, like, he's thought out everything from beginning to end. And the main guy's like, I mean, what can it hurt? But then as he's looking through the audition files, finds himself really interested in one woman in particular. And then that interest kind of spirals.
A little.
A little. Who's obsessed with who more? Question mark.
I don't know. Batman.
Do you have anything else you think there is to add?
I guess just because I think you said how old the son was, and then you went to like the 7 years. Then you said 7 years before.
I meant that like
yes,
he's between
he's
17 and 20 because
after the 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the way it originally came out made it sound like he's between 17 and 20, and now he's 7 years later. It's like, wait a second. Now he's I think he's still, once again, just basing off of anime watched around the time and looking at some of the like the uniform that they're wearing. He's probably like nearing ending high school.
Yeah,
equivalent.
I think they finish high school out there when they're 17.
Yeah,
but he also was like, yeah, you're right, he has the uniform. But I was just trying to think, like, in the beginning of the movie, I thought his character looked closer to like 10 years old. And then he doesn't talk about university yet, but he does kind of hint that he's getting into special interests because he's really into dinosaurs. Like really into dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's it's funny like watching the movie because I'm like because they don't say how old people are, but it's just like the dad doesn't look.
They did say how old the girl is.
Yes, they did say how old she was, and they did say it was like
they were casting for between like 20 and 30, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, I think it was like 20 to 35. I think they said, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
But the dad, I think it's safe to assume the dad is, if not late 40s, like
yeah, like I felt like it was in there, but it was just like it was one of the things. Like I couldn't tell if it was just like. Not that the camera quality is bad, but it's just like sometimes those older films, like when they're filmed, like it kind of makes things like a little bit fuzzier. And I'm just like, he doesn't look that. His friend looks like 10 years older than him.
His friend also is like always smoking, so they could still be the same age.
Yeah.
Granted, the main guy does drink a lot of whiskey.
So, but yeah, it's. Like I'll say, I mean, we'll get more into this in Spoiler Town, but it's like I don't agree with I I don't agree with how it started, but at the same time, don't know if don't fully know if he fully fully deserved everything he's got. Like, not okay. Deserves the wrong word. It's like
I think
don't
it's
know.
a movie of. I think there's something that could be interesting to discuss about
Yeah.
assumptions, because all of the characters are really bad at communicating,
Mm-hmm.
but that becomes important to the movie instead of it
Yeah.
just like I'm used to like sitcoms and things like that are really annoying where it's like haha miscommunication. I'm like, no, these people just are filling in blanks for each other. You know what I mean? Like, and she even like
Mm-hmm.
says it towards the end where she like makes a lot of assumptions on who he is as a person.
Yeah. That's
But
like the. I think that's like, and once again, spoiler time makes sense. Like, I think what she's upset about, he doesn't fully fit that picture.
he did do things
But yes,
that
I will
are
say,
like
I will say, like, how he got there is his fault, and he was like some of the things, but it's just like everything, like, what is the, what is causing the everything to its climax. I'm like,
it could be very preventable.
yeah, it's just like hold up, like, and stuff. So anyway, we can get into it as we get into spoiler town, but I guess well, I guess you said already, like, if you would recommend, if people like thumbs up or I don't know, we never do thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, would you recommend this to someone in case they want to jump off when we go to spoiler town?
Like I said, one of those things. I think it's a well done movie. I don't think it's one I could recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that like you said, like the director does a good job of at least doing the whole like, well, the shoe's gonna drop. Well, the shoe's gonna drop. Well, so I think there's not a lot of thrillers that are willing to make you wait. So I do think the impact in this is really good. But again, I'm a picky person about what this, like, unless I know it's a B movie, then I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the message here? But how about you?
I think it would be great. Like, I think it's I think it's shot interestingly, and especially once things start popping off. Like, there's things that I was trying to see, like, in the foreground and the foreground background, like, of certain character, like, of certain things that were going on. But I feel like pretty much the first half is just like, not that it drags, but it's just like, okay, like, we know, like, we're seeing the signs, something's not right here. Which honestly, there's like some shots in there, like, just because we were mentioning briefly Lynch, there was like, I feel like there, like, the
I
old
felt like
house. There's
I also feel like the last like 20 minutes was very, no, maybe not the 20 minutes, but the I can say this without spoiling. Flashbacks
Yes.
were very Lynch like.
Yeah, so it's like I felt like we still got some of that, but like it wasn't like a 3 hour movie.
It also wasn't flashing lights at me constantly.
Yeah.
That's my big annoyance of which one was the
Was
the
that
the highway.
Lost Highway?
Yeah, where the guy was screaming and then they kept flashing lights and I'm like, no, please. I'm on a laptop screen. It's like an inch from my face, please.
My eyes. But I even though this was on the list of best horror villain, what was this? Not horror villains, but best villains.
Yeah.
What was the title?
Best
Movie villains of all time. I don't know if I fully agree with that statement, but I do think it is. I think it's an interesting movie, and it's like, as you said, like, visually, I would agree. Visually and stuff, there's a lot of really neat, like, camera tricks and stuff, like the way it builds, and like we'll talk about it more as we go into spoiler town. But at the same time, I don't think this is a movie for everybody. it's an interesting thing, but I feel like, especially with this, hey, go to what does the dog dance or whatever? Does the dog die? What was it?
That dance.
I don't know.
Does the dog die?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like my idea better.
I don't know how many people need to be warned of a dog dancing in a movie,
know.
but there's that's insensitive of me. You're right.
But yeah, it's definitely just like when I recommend books. Please do your own research. But yeah, I guess we're gonna dive into how much time do we want to just give ourselves the 20 minutes, and then if we have more to talk about, go from there, or what?
Yeah, I think the 20 minutes, because we've already kind of yapped for like 10-ish about kind of just the premise, warnings, our vibes. So I think 20 minutes of spoilers is okay. So be warned, we're getting on the train.
Yeah, of course the train, like the IRL train, isn't here. But yeah, I am. It's like all aboard. Toot toot, and 3, 2, 1, and we are taking off. It's been a while since we've been on the train.
Yeah, I'll just say it here. This is a movie for men scared of women. This validates men's fear of like, oh my god, she said something weird. She must be like out of her mind. I have to stop talking to her before she kills me. And it's like,
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And yeah, like you said, like even in the beginning, they go, women in Japan are so bad now. We can't trust any of them. And I'm like,
I'm like, am I listening to a podcast?
It is the women, the way you guys are falsifying an audition and asking really invasive questions to women and having them undress for a movie that's probably never going to get made. But it's the women. Mm-hmm. It's the women that are untrustworthy.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to mention before we get too far in there, because it has nothing to do with the film. It has nothing to do with what the message. It was just, I didn't realize this existed in 1999. I didn't realize they had touchscreens in cars in 1999.
The future.
I know. I was like, hold up.
Asian made car.
I was like, Toyota.
I mean, I think or Nissan, I think it was that he drives.
Yeah.
Because it has a big fancy Nissan like font in the middle, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Yeah, I couldn't remember, but I was like, "Oh, it's touchscreen."
I didn't think this was a 1999 movie either. Like, I don't know, like it feels timeless in a way, but then there are moments where like they're on a computer or on a phone, or they have the biggest hunkiest laptops. Yeah,
I miss that. I don't know. I like seeing, I forget, there's a terminology for like the technology of that, like not era, but like that kind of thing. Yeah. I forget what it is, but it's like, I like the aesthetics, but I also like how everything fits in my pocket and works.
Oh my god, dial up, don't take me back.
No.
Getting AUL DVDs in the mail, oh, what a time.
The free coasters. But I guess to go into like the thing that I was like, why I said it was so trippy, because like I pretty much just finished the movie and then I was going and watching there. Like the end, it literally not I don't want to use the word literally, but it is very similar to
Mm-hmm.
of course now everything's leaving my head, like Millennium Actress.
Which is also Japanese.
Yes. Yeah. There was, what's the other one? The actress.
Perfect Blue.
Yeah, Perfect Blue. The way you described Paprika, I'm like, that it was just like, I'd never watched it, but it was just like, the ending felt like some of the anime movies that we have watched from that time, especially at the end where it's just like,
who's talking to who, what's real, what's imagined, what's a dream, yeah,
because I was just because like, yeah, they're like, hey, she's the villain, like, and all that stuff, and like I was like, okay, I know she's gonna pop off and do whatever at some point, but it was just like
we're flashing back between like false memories and then like his wife being present and like his son's girlfriend also being
Yeah.
present, and I was just, and his housekeeper being present, and I'm just like, so I do agree. Like, I know when I said like I didn't find it trippy, it's just like, I think it's just because it's so much of the movie is played out to be normal.
Yeah.
Minus the little moments where, like, in the beginning where she's just sitting and waiting by the phone, or, like, when, like, you see, like, flashbacks of her just sitting alone in her apartment, and you're just like, she's not right.
Yeah. Well, they solidify that when she's sitting, like, alone in that, yeah, I guess it's her apartment or whatever, and it's just like, I'm like, holy moly, her neck is, like,
bulging.
Like, huge, and it's just like, just the way, like, every shot that she is on her own is it's like this unsettling thing until you really get to the end. But it was one of those things that was interesting that I picked up watching it. Like, not sorry, like while I was watching it, I noticed, like, very early on, whenever you see her, pretty much, when she's on screen, she's always wearing white, except for, like, the red jacket that she's wearing. I think
the apron.
At the end, and then there's the blue jacket that she's wearing at the beginning.
Oh, after the first date.
Yeah.
The plaid jacket, or
yeah. But it's like, I think it's the same, like, dress. Like, I don't think she...
Pretty much. Yeah, I think one time it's
similar.
a dress, and another time it's, like, a shirt and skirt. Or, like, a cardigan and skirt.
Yeah.
But it's very, like... It's easy to mix them up. They do definitely all look the same.
Yeah. And it's...
I also, like, thinking back on it, like you said, the scene where she's hunched over and her neck is bulging, a lot of her individual scenes focus a lot on, like, the oddities around her neck. And then boom, pow, ending.
Yeah.
Very emphasis on the neck. But yeah, no, I do think this is... I would put this under, like, torture porn movie.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, and then the translation is deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
So, like, I didn't look... Like, I was watching the last bit of it on my PC, and I didn't look at it because I was kind of one of those things... Not to say that it was necessarily scary, but it was just one of those, like... This is meant to get a rise out of me, but this is not... This... I don't know, like... It doesn't interest me. It just grosses me out. And not in, like, a satisfying way. Because I think it's the... Yeah, there's a lot of buildup and a lot of, like, moments where, as the main character, as the viewer, most of this movie, I was like, man, I hate men. Because, like, it was funny. I was talking to a friend about the video game Catherine. I don't know if you've ever played it.
I haven't played it, but I watched someone play it. I know of it, yeah.
I really liked the game, and we joked because we were like... I was joking with a group of people. We were like, themes, questionable, but you get to say that man is really stupid and makes a lot of stupid decisions. And that's how it felt like watching this main guy. Like you said...
It's not as comical, though.
Yeah, it's not as funny. But when we were going into this, he did set up... Like, the whole bit where she's about to torture him and she's setting up and, like, admitting, like, why she's picked him as her next victim is... You know, all of you executive types, you say you're auditioning, but you're really doing it to gain access to women. Which, based on her past trauma, yes, right? Because she has the whole ballerina incident and everything like that when she's young. But also, he technically did do that. He just wasn't sleeping with anybody else.
Yeah, it was like just... you were the only one. Like that. Go ahead, sorry, I finished your...
But he's never proven to her that he's not a scummy guy. Yes. He's done a lot of scummy things. Like, within the third date, he's like, let's go away for a weekend where it's me and you alone in a hotel. Like, that's... I don't know why she said yes, but, I mean, she already had her plans.
We know why she said yes.
I would be scared out of my mind.
Yeah, but you're not murdering people.
But, I mean, like... He's doing a lot of the things that someone who harms women would. Where he's really rushing things. He's, like, love bombing her. He's proposing to her when he's, like, as far as we as the viewer know, it's, like, their third date. Like,
yeah.
He hasn't even introduced her to his son, and yet he's talking about, like, giving her the perfect life. Like, it's all giving the signs of someone who...
It's close to home.
But it's giving a lot of the things that men who manipulate other people would do.
Yeah. I think that's, like, I think he's in the wrong. I don't agree with what he did. I will say, like, one of the things, like, at the beginning of the movie, like, this wasn't something that he sought out. It was just, like, a comment from his son, and he's like, and then he thought about it, and he was like...
And he went to his buddy.
Yeah, and then, like, I feel like at the start, he was, like, how he was speaking, even though I think probably what he was aiming for was a little lofty, but it was still, like, but then again, we're introduced to this character, all we know is that his wife died 7 years ago. But it's like, from what we see as throughout the movie, like, he's a hard worker. Like, he started his own business, raised it. He was able to keep his son, seemed to has a pretty healthy relationship with him. Like, even the maids, like, this is the first time I seen you take off. What's going on? Oh, it's just by his actions, it's a woman.
Yeah, everybody else talks about him like he's a role model.
Yeah, and so there's all this stuff where it was like going on, and I feel like the way he originally went into this was that he was saying that he wanted someone his age, and it wasn't until his friend who was in the movie production side of it, like movie, TV, the film industry, was like, hey, where are you going to meet someone like this? And he's like, I don't know. And I think he probably just would have left it at there. But then he's like, hold up, here's this. Like, we do this, and we can, like, as you were saying earlier, like, we can have this. And he wasn't, like, you could tell he wasn't into it. And I felt like even at the beginning when, like, all the audition, like, they're like, hey, here's all the people, choose 30 girls before this. And, like, at that point, he was like, I don't want to do this. Like,
I know. He's like, they all look the same to me. There's no one interesting. It's just a bunch of young women. And
all we can go off is what is shown in the movie, which was, like, could he have been attracted to her beauty? Yes. But it felt like he was more attracted to just, like, what she wrote, like, about death, and just like, hold up, you're too young to have that opinion. And, like, that's kind of what attracted, and then kind of escalated from there as he was, like, kind of being dumb. But at the same time, it's like everything he was doing, especially as he was going and, like, trying to, like, figure out where she is, what's going on, figure out her past, even though he's like, no, I'll respect your boundaries. And it's just like, why won't you call, and all this stuff. And the weekend excursion, all that going on, the way he goes, I think whatever he started off, I don't think his intentions as he went on, like, were the best. Like, I don't think there's a disagreement there. But I disagree with her motivation to doing this to him, which, once again, it comes down to miscommunication. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, everything you're blaming him of, he literally hasn't done. And it's like, it's like, hey, he went 7 years without pursuing anybody focused on it, to our knowledge. But then again, there is that one scene where I thought it was the coworker that, like,
yes, the one in the beginning who was awkward, that was like
I'm getting married.
We were yeah. Do you have anything to say about me getting married? And he's like, what the hell? Leave my office, go home.
Yeah, like, at first, okay. It was like, okay, and then I'm like, the way I was like,
then he has his guilt trip over, like, I thought it would mean something, and he's like, oops.
Yeah, it was like the whole thing where it's like, I'm sitting there looking at, like, the first interaction, I was like, that was weird. And then the second one, when she's like, oh, I'm leaving, and then just stood there and waited for him, and I was like, oh, they had a thing. It was like,
yeah, she's hoping that he's gonna say something.
Yeah, and
like, honestly, if the boss of your company, I can see why she's like, hey, I know he's rich, he signs my paychecks.
Yeah, and so but like the other side of it is like we don't know a lot about her either, except that like there was a night. Like we
Yeah.
don't know anything about the night, and it's like we don't really need to. But I guess that's like the big thing that I was like, hey, I think I would be on board with the whatever, I forgot her name. Asami's like whole mission if he fit the thing. It's just she was so eager because like just off of like once again he was infatuated like off a couple dates and was like, oh man, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, even though and like it's not getting the full picture, not getting to know them. And at the same time it's like, oh, in 3 dates I know who you are. And it's just like
Yeah, but there's also like the thing that I thought was really interesting in terms of like, yeah, like I totally see what you mean about it. It doesn't feel satisfying.
Yeah.
But that's why I said it feels like it's a horror movie for men scared of women, because it's that whole idea of like, I was as nice as I thought I should be and it still went wrong. It's like, but like he was so infatuated, like whether or not, it's imagined or not, the beginning dates really heavily imply that he doesn't care about her, right? Like a lot of the questions, he's like, I want to get to know you. And she goes, my life's fine. He goes, perfect. That's great. That's exactly all I need. But then when he has his moments later where, like she says, true pain makes you think of the true image, etc., blah, 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 whatever speech it was.
Yeah.
He goes into it and goes, wait, like he kind of has those moments like, wait, should these dates have gone differently? And like, yes, they should. If you weren't just infatuated with the idea of a person, right? Because he also heavily implies, he's like, you sound older than you are. And it's like, well, unfortunately, people that have gone through a lot through a young age tend to have a lot of like pretty dark feelings about, life and death and things like that, because they've been forced to go through more than they probably should have at a young age. And it's but I liked kind of the trippiness of like that final bit where he's imagining the dates, because that would have fixed a lot of the miscommunication if he sat there and actually listened, and tried to have a full conversation. But in the beginning, at one point he goes, what's your family like? She's like, average, I guess. And he goes, perfect. Like, that's not an answer. That's a non-answer. But I know it's played up to make her look like a liar, but to me it plays it up that he is just so, it doesn't matter what she's gonna say, he's gonna be pursuing her. And it even takes, like, he has a friend, and his friend who came up with the scummy idea was like, dude, things aren't adding up. Can you, like, take your time at least? Like you said you wanted to. And the main guy is like, what do you think, I'm a child? And he's like, no, I just think you're rushing things. I'm not calling you childish. I don't think you're being deceived, but I think you're just head over heels, But yeah, and then the main character wants to be like, I'm so smart, I'm figuring out things about her past. I'm like, your bro caught it, like, that the the guy that she says that she's in contact with has been missing for 18 months. Like, is that not weird, bro?
Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting, like I guess the way it was shot, like I feel like the beginning, like besides the scenes that we see Asumi by herself, like it's like, oh man, that's given major horror vibes, like especially when the phone rings and like I'm like, I feel like I seen that in like in an anime of like the smile and like the very like the way the hair's draped. I was like, I feel like I've seen this scene before. But it's like before that, it's everything's like shot normally, like the
almost rom-com, like
rom-com, but it's like the way the point of view is like it's all like pretty much straight on. There's a couple like looking up shots, but everything, but it's like once pretty much there's the taxi when he drops her off and he's like, oh, this is where I gotta stay, which I'm just like, dude, you're just gonna leave her there
to walk home alone at night.
It's like, I don't know if this is something different in in Japanese culture, but it's just like, you're interested in her, like, and like, I don't know, and it's just one of the things I saw that it's like, you're obviously interested in her, you're not going to make sure she gets back safe. And like, as they're pulling away, like, we just, for like the longest time, we just see her just still in the background until like the scene, like, until like, and the scene doesn't change until you literally can't see her anymore. And then it's after the weekend trip, like, because everything's still kind of like your normal shots and everything. It's after that when he starts doing his like, he has the like outburst at his friend. The camera shots get weird, I guess is a better way to put it. Like, I think like the whole when he goes to the dance studio, like the
Oh, that's definitely where it gets really disorienting.
That's where it starts. Like it shows like the train and going by and down the alleyway, and it's like we have this weird angle where we're looking down and we see him come out, and then when we follow him in there, it's like the camera's behind him looking out, and it's just, we see the old man playing the piano, and it's just the way the shadows and everything's lit all there, which even makes you wonder if that guy is really there. And then from there, when he goes, after that, he goes to the bar that she said that she worked at. And then it's like, we have this weird, almost like PS1 horror thing where we're like going down the stairs and all that stuff, where it's got like the set
tank
camera
controls.
Yeah. And then it's like, random guy, yo, don't go down there. And then it's just, it was a really, not like an extreme unsettling scene, but it was like where the camera was pulled back and the stairs were coming down one way. Whatever his name is, old man, where's his name? Anyway, he's
Widow.
Yeah, widower man standing here. The guy's coming down, but the way it's shot is that the stairs look flat, but like, it's like the stair, like, I don't know, it's just,
and then
doesn't look natural.
And it also like has this interesting feeling where at first, when he first encounters that man, like, now that you're bringing this scene up, when he first encounters that man, the man feels like, oh, he's like up the flight of stairs.
Yeah.
But by the end, after he shares like, tee-hee, here's my fun facts. I'm like, these aren't fun facts, but he's like, tee-hee. He almost feels like he's like on top of him, right? Because there's the shot, and then the guy just starts hyperventilating, and the guy who was coming home is just like, sorry to scare you with my story. It's just a story.
Yeah.
Like,
and like, and here's the tongue, and it's just like, oh. And then like, he's no longer like right in front of him. He's like, okay, bye. And it's just like, so it's so there's stuff like that, and then pretty much the next scene is all like in his house when we get like that Millennium actress,
that first person,
the first person, but then like the snapshot of all the different potential outcomes and everything, just so it's as the stress and the worry and like his confusion rises, it feels like the camera work gets more erratic, which I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like the movie is done well, but it's just a movie that I'm like, I feel like I could watch movies like this and it have clearer messaging. Like, for me, the message for this that I get from it, whether intended by the director or not, is just like, don't trust women. And I'm like, well, that's what kind of causes a lot of violence against people, women, or people that are, you know, all different types of people, because it's that whole like not trusting each other thing. Whereas it's, you know, it would have been nicer to see a story like this end where like, either, like you said, we get more reveals that make the guy feel like the secret villain. You know what I mean? Like, something to turn that on its head. But the fact that it turns into like it is only maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of like graphic violence on the screen, but it just feels really long because of the way it's shot. But like, I on one hand I'm like nice, on the other hand I'm like eh.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
we get the point. It's like we don't need every single needle
Individual, yeah.
stab and
But
then
I know it's to draw out like more tension for the viewer, because the viewer, like if you're watching this in a theater, most people are gonna be like, "Is it over? Is it
yeah,
over?"
and then for I guess because our time's done, but it's just like the Asumi isn't stupid and like not unresourceful and all that, but it's just like one of those things. Like at the very end, it's just like it's like, hey,
Everyone's greatest weakness: stairs.
but it's like oh man, it's like in all this planning, all this stuff, you don't have a backup plan for in case somebody comes in, and you're like, ha, boy, spray, and it's like, what is that gonna do? It's like,
Yeah, she like for all of the scheming she does throughout the entire thing, it does feel very like, well, the movie has to end.
yeah. It was like because I think the original thing, the way I think the sound effect and everything they put in there, it's like they almost made it feel like he got shot, and I was like, that doesn't seem right with what I know about Japanese gun laws. But it's like, but because I think it does like a sound effect where it's like we just see her hold something up, and I was like,
And then he has the memory flashback.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, as I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? I hope the boy doesn't die, because he doesn't like. Yeah, he kind of is the reason all this is happening, because he said, "Yo, Dad, go get married again," and now it's
The
like
worst thing is we didn't even get to know if how he coped with his best friend passing away. Because remember a lot of his stuff is like, the dog's my best friend.
Oh,
When he comes
yeah.
out of hiding, feed the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I don't know.
But
Well,
at the very least, like I said, in the very beginning of the movie, they emphasized the dog eating stuff out of bowls, and I was like, that dog's not going to make it to the end of the movie.
yeah.
I got really hopeful at the 1 hour mark when they went on a vacation. I was like, oh, maybe the dog's fine. And then they came back from vacation in like
It's like-
5 minutes, and I was like, oh
no.
no. But at the very least, the other thing I would say as a compliment to the director is everything felt like it was in the movie for a reason, and I can't say that about every movie, because like the dog being important in the movie does flashback to something that she does, like there's just a lot of tie-ins with different things in the movie that I'm like,
Yeah.
like I understand, I can respect it, but I cannot like it at the same time.
Yeah. I think I was reading about it. The guy who directed this, Takashi Miike, if I'm pronouncing his last name right, this was the film that kind of put him on the map. But it seemed like when I was reading about him yesterday, and it seems like he's a little bit controversial with some of his stuff until his later films. Because let's see, he auditioned as his first one, and then he did Ichi the Killer, Visitor Q, Gozu, and One Missed Call, and then let's see, I'm trying to find out here. It seemed like pretty much in 2013 he kind of switched up and he did a movie called Harikiri, I'm probably mispronouncing that, and Straw Shield, that seemed were a little bit more mainstream accepted, but it sounds like he didn't do that. But it's like remember reading this Ichi the Killer, which I think is based off a manga. I'm not 100% sure, but that's like banned in several countries for I guess violence and everything that's in there. But I have heard of this film. I don't know what it's about, but
I see under his Wikipedia he has named American filmmaker David Lynch as his favorite director from the English-speaking world.
All right, there
Yeah,
we
I
go.
could have.
We could have
guessed
seen that. Yeah. So, but any poops. I think we said all that we can say about this movie, which I don't know. We haven't had a Spoiler Town in a while. It was fun. But now it's time for the wheel.
The wheel. right, make
The
it full
wheel.
I am recording it now. The wheel's looking pretty slim, but I'm gonna
Yep.
hit spin anyway.
All right. Are you hoping that it's your prompt or my prompt?
I don't know.
I keep opening up my budget sheet instead of the the sheet that we need to do.
All right. What I got on the wheel is a movie that's the same season as when this option comes up.
Oh, okay. So summer
So
film.
a summer movie.
All right.
Lots of options.
Yeah, a lot of. Once again, it's one of those things like I'll laugh if we watch the same movie, but I highly doubt it's going to happen.
This one's statistically a lot less likely.
Yeah.
Like you said, you had watched half of that list. I think I had watched at least a third of the list for today's episode. So.
Yeah, it was. The chance of that were a little bit easier. Who? I don't know who wrote that one.
Yeah,
The seasonal one. Oh, yours. It's your last one.
It's my man. I don't know what else to put in this
Yep.
list.
Well, if you look at my last two, it's like, oh. So yeah, so we'll be doing that. I know we have to rewrite a roll.
And make a.
We got to make a roll. I guess we can talk afterwards about rewriting one because I don't know. It just sometimes.
Nothing's speaking to me.
Yeah, so we can talk about it, or when we go before we record the next episode. But do you have an if, or an if or then statement?
Did we dislike the movie we watched this week? I don't think it's not like watching Six-Headed Shark, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count that rule.
No, the thing is, I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it. I'm pretty neutral on it. Like
I think yeah, that's fair. I think I can say I'm critical of it.
Yeah.
Like if you tell me you like that movie, I'd be like, explain to me why. Give me an essay.
Yeah. Like
if you tell me you relate to the main guy,
yeah,
words.
it's like I don't need to know you anymore. But it's like I'm just like looking through the lists here, like the D&D movie, which I feel like is a very easy one. That one, like
or Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship. I feel like there was another one that we both were like about, but so that one's gonna be a little bit. Five Nights at Freddy and Alone in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Alone in the Dark was just, I think it was so funny because it was so bad, but I didn't like it. But anyway, an if-then statement.
We have a lot of straightforward ones, at least that I can think of.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold up. Let me look at the dice here. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3. What if the result of your die matches the date, like the day? So like
during the first week of the month or something. Or I guess if it's a D20, it could go up to 20.
It'd be a
D100, yeah.
A D100, but I was just like also thinking it's like I was just thinking like, okay, let's say we're recording the 24th and you roll like a 4 on the die, on like the D4.
Matches a digit from the day of recording.
The day, the actual day rather, or month. Like I don't know the month. I think.
Well, I'm saying date of recording and not date of release.
Yes.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you
must share your social security number.
111 111 111.
Let's see.
Oh, we don't have this. You get to swap who goes first.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
So
if you decide you wanna pass the torch.
Yeah, it only took us like 2/3 of the episodes
To think of that, as an option.
Yep.
That's funny.
So, With that, yeah, we'll rewrite the roll in time, and we'll let you guys know next week what that rewrite is. And I got nothing. You got anything?
Don't do trust your buddies. Don't trust your feelings. That's not a good statement.
Do you need to talk to your therapist about that statement?
I was trying to think of the movie where I'm like, he just was like, I'm into her. I don't care what anyone says. But his buddy was like, red flag. Red flag.
Yeah. Except his buddy was also a red flag.
That's true.
Pay attention to the red flags in your life.
Ask honest questions.
Beware of needles. If your child says, hey, you should get married again, first ask why you have child. Also,
why have child?
Yeah, why have
already
child?
Been born.
Second,
child old.
Tell child you are the stupidest you ever be in your life.
Tell child you get married first.
Yeah. For more advice like this, join us next week as we talk about a movie that happened in the summer. Toodles!